Much. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to our Q2 and H1 earnings call for FY25. On the call, I'm joined by Mr. Naveen Juneja, our Director on the Board and Group CFO, SGA, our Investor Relations Advisors from Mumbai. The results and the presentation are uploaded on the stock exchange and the company website. I hope everyone has had a look at it. Let me begin with the industry and the economy overview. In the first half of the year, auto OEMs reported a relatively flat sales growth overall, with the exception of two- and three-wheeler segments, which outperformed despite subdued market demand and high inventory level at dealerships. Dealer performance has remained stagnant, reflecting a general lackluster market sentiment. However, two-wheelers grew 16% year-on-year, followed by three-wheelers, which grew 10% year-on-year. Passenger vehicles only grew by 1% in this period. Commercial vehicles, both medium and heavy commercial vehicles, had high inventories with their dealers. The commercial vehicle segment experienced a 4.2% year-on-year decline over last year, basically due to lack of infrastructure spending by the government. Improvement is anticipated in the second half of the year, or I would even say more in Q4. Looking ahead, the number of electric vehicles on the road is expected to reach new highs by the end of 2025, driven by government incentives, robust customer demand, and a growing preference for two-wheelers only for intra-mobility two-wheeler space. Coming to our company performance, for H1 FY25, Talbros Automotive achieved a 12% growth over last year, reaching a revenue of 429 crores for H1, with EBITDA margins coming at highest ever at 16.7% margin for the H1. This is due to the fact that we've been able to work on our product mixes, export to the correct countries, join hands with the new customers, and also been able to put our new order book into live revenue streams. We have been focused on margin improvement over the past 3 quarters, and we are pleased to report a 140 basis point margin increase over H1 FY24 in the first half of the year. Last year, we secured orders exceeding 1,000 crores, and in April 24, we received another orders of 1,000 crores from major European OEMs through our joint venture, Talbros Chassis System Private Limited. Our focus, as I mentioned, remains on execution of these orders and get them into the live revenue stream. Exports saw a slight slowdown this quarter, though our half-year performance still shows a 14% growth. Was still a little bit of a muted export performance. The de-acceleration in exports is due to maybe global tensions, the ongoing conflicts in Europe and Middle East, U.S. elections, which have now been concluded in whichever manner you see. And I think we should see exports coming to a better future in the next couple of quarters. However, at Talbros, we are committed to increasing our exports from the current level of 25% to about 35% in the coming 3 to 4 years. Coming to our divisions, our gasket division grew at about 11% for the quarter and about 10% for the H1, given the fact that it is quite dominant in the commercial vehicle space, yet it showed a good growth rate in the quarter and in the half year. We also started delivering with good heat shield performance with Maruti, Suzuki, as well as Hyundai Motors. Our forging business line showed a growth of about 17% for the H1, which is still pretty healthy. Here, exports constitute of a large number, and we were very successful in commercializing business from a large off-roader segment based out of the UK, and also added some more heavier and value addition parts, which will help in the bottom line. Turning to our joint ventures, we're very pleased with the performance which we have been in our financials. Our joint venture, Talbros, grew at about 13% for H1, and Marugu grew at only 2% for H1. Both were pretty much related to the Indian domestic car segment market, which has been growing only at about 1% or so. However, we are constantly looking at increasing our order book with EVs, both domestically as well as internationally with our Marelli joint venture, and also looking to increase customer share with Maruti and other customers as well through Talbros Marugu. We are pretty pleased at our results for H1. We're pretty optimistic about the automotive industry. Yeah, maybe we may see a slightish muted quarter 3, which would be equal to quarter 2, I would say. But we're still hopeful now with the US elections that are over and done with, and the inventory levels coming down at dealership levels at the festive time. We're pretty excited about the future of the Indian automotive industry and remain committed to our growth. With this, I request Mr. Juneja to update you on the financial performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuj. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all the participants. Let me begin with the financial overview. Total revenue for Q2 of FY25 stood at 222 crores as against 197 crores in Q2 of FY24, a growth of 12% on YOY basis. For H1 of FY25, it stood out at 429 crores as against 382 crores in H1 of FY24, which is a growth of 12% on YOY basis. EBITDA for Q2 of FY25 stood at 37 crores as against 31 crores, a growth of 21% YOY basis. For H1 of FY25, it stood at 72 crores as compared to 59 crores in the same period last year, indicating growth of 23% on YOY basis. EBITDA margin for Q2 of FY25 stood at 16.9% as compared to 15.6% in the same period of last year, higher by 1.30 basis points. And for H1 of FY25, it stood at 16.7%, which is an increase of from 15.3% last year, higher by 140 basis points. PAT for Q1 FY25 stood at 23 crores as against 20 crores in Q2 of FY24, a growth of 17% on a YOY basis. And for H1 of FY25, it stood at 44 crores as compared to 37 crores last year, a growth of 18%. Now coming to a division-wise performance, in the gasket division in Q2 of FY25, sales for gasket stood at 144 crores as against 130 crores in Q2 of FY24, a growth of 11% on YOY basis. And for H1, our gasket and heat shield sales were around 277 crores as against 250 crores in H1 of FY24, a growth of around 10%. EBITDA for Q2 of FY25 was 26 crores, a growth of 25% as compared to the same period last year. And for H1 of FY25, this segment saw a EBITDA of 47 crores as against 37 crores, a growth of 26% on YOY basis. Now coming to our forging division, revenue in Q2 of FY25 was rupees 77 crores as against 68 crores in Q2 of FY24, And for H1 of FY25, the revenue grew by 17%, 250 crores, 54 crores as against rupees 132 crores in H1 of FY24. EBITDA stood at 13 crores for the Q2 FY25 as against 12 crores in Q2 FY24, and EBITDA saw a growth of 15% in H1 of FY25, moving from 23 crores to 26 crores in the same period last year. Now coming to our joint venture, Talbros Chassis Systems Private Limited. Revenue for Q2 FY25 stood at 67 crores as against 64 crores, a growth of 5%. And for H1 of 25, it stood at 36 crores versus 121 crores in H1 FY24, registering a growth of 13% on YOY basis. EBITDA for Q2 of FY25 was 10.4 crores, a growth of 21% on YOY basis, and it stood at 20 crores in H1 of FY25 as against 16 crores in H1 of FY24, a growth of 29% on YOY basis. Now coming to our next joint venture of Talbros Private Limited. Revenue for our TMR, this joint venture business, is in Q2 FY25 stood at rupees 33 crores, which remained relatively flat on YOY basis, and it stood at 65 crores in H1 of FY25 versus 63 crores in H1 of FY24, registering a growth of 2% on YOY basis. EBITDA stood at 6 crores in Q2 of FY25 as against 2 crores in Q2 of FY24. And for H1 of FY24, it was 8 crores as compared to 5 crores in H1 of FY24 a growth of 84%. Looking ahead, we see numerous opportunities that promise ongoing growth within the automotive sector. The organization had made substantial investment in the new technologies, capacity expansion, product diversification, and the growth of the customer base and market reach. These efforts are expected to produce the company well to seize future opportunities, enhance diversity, and drive long-term growth. This is all from our side, and I would now like to open the floor to question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Jiten Parmar from Aurum Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Anuj and team Navinji. Congratulations on very decent set of numbers looking at the situation in the market. My question is more on, this with this current slowdown and all, are we still confident of achieving the 2,200 crore turnover which we had kind of guided for FY27?
So, yes, we are still working on that number. We feel that this muted growth is not going to go long, maybe 1 quarter more. Then afterward, everything will change. Because it is a ripple effect of elections first, plus the inventories created by OEMs, which has now been, I think, drastically reduced, and festive season they have, I think, reduced drastically, and the marriage season going on, it will further reduce, and they will, from next calendar year, we are quite hopeful, and we are listening from various OEMs that they are back on the old track, because it's the automotive industry. After every 3-4 years, some stagnation comes, and this stagnation, I don't think so will go further. extend further beyond this calendar year. And we are expecting by the end of this year or in the first quarter of next year, RBI will also reduce some rate of interest, which will also impact this growth.
Perfect. So that's good to know. Another question I have is in the list of customers for FY24 and currently I don't see Hero and Honda. Now, just wanted to know what is the situation there.
Sir, we are not there in Honda, okay? Because my joint venture was there from where we exited in January. And we are now 30% of Hero, 100% of Bajaj. And we don't, and Bajaj is in bringing new models and heavy duty models also in the market, in which we are putting our components and we are getting good traction from there. We don't foresee any downtrend from that side.
Okay. And Bajaj, we are pretty much 100% share of business.
Yeah.
And we've not lost any customer. We exited our joint venture, which is a call that...
Okay. So that was leakless. Honda was because of leakless.
Right? Yeah. And that was supplying to Honda. Oh,
okay, got it. So Hero, we are still continuing, right? That's what.
30% share is there.
Okay, perfect. So so my final question is on basically now. Let's say this year we will have a slower growth than what we anticipated. How are we going to make it up in the further years? Any new products?
We'll make it up with our orders being executed, right? Orders coming into execution. Like right now, a very large order with one of our joint ventures, Marelli. It's taking a little bit time to come into birthing. Then even some other orders with some UK customers are taking a little bit longer to come into birthing. One of our major OEMs with which we were looking at a large revenue base, UK-based OEMs, they have delayed some launches. So there is cyclicality. But we keep adding on customers. We'll keep adding on, we'll try and add on some US aftermarket customers that may be a little bit low-hanging fruits. We are working on a process. So it's nothing to really worry about, even though if you look at and you decipher even like if the CV degrew by 4%, still the gas division grew at 11%, So
absolutely,
we're not very worried. I think quarter 4 you should see a bounce back for sure.
Okay. No, I must commend you because I have been following your company for many years.
Yes, I know.
You have done the tremendous job constantly executing. So I wish you all the best. And
we're also very happy very happy with our operative team to come up with the EBITDA margin of 16.9% in this kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And we should not look for 6 months, 3 months. Long-term basis, the project which has been delayed will come into birthing. It's a matter of time only. Orders are with us. Products are developed. Everything is ready.
Absolutely. I mean, we all have to understand, and we all know that auto is cyclical in that sense. So and yes, again, I must commend you for the margins you've thrown up and all. So best of luck. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Kuber Chauhan from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my questions and congratulations on good sets of numbers. Your margins are commendable. I have few questions. Number one, you have shown a good amount of 2% growth coming from agri and off-roaders. So is it sustainable, number one? And number two, what about the heat shields which we were going to supply for M&M? Are there any, what is the current status of that? And number three, you talked about supplying some parts to Maruti and Hyundai. So I just missed that comment. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Let's start with your first question. First question was regarding, sorry, I missed that. I don't forget that.
Regarding the 2% growth in agri off-roader. So is it sustainable or
this growth, this agri off-roader business will grow further. We are getting new orders. First of all, this basically one of the major contributor here is JCB of the UK-based customer. We have got 2 phases are over of this customer. Parts are started now. Is already on the pipeline, commercial supply started. Third phase will be over by the end of this month or early next month, development of third phase. And that will also start supplying from January onwards. After that, we are expecting, and this total will be around order book of around 60 crores per annum, and plus, hopefully, very, I think within next 15-20 days, we are expecting a huge order from them, and again a fourth phase we are getting with them. If that matures, I think next year it will be a great increase in this segment, number one. Number two, your question was, sir, can you repeat again, please?
Yeah, heat shields.
Mahindra. We started Mahindra heat shield, yes.
Yes, we have started Mahindra heat shield. We have now started earlier. We are increasing their, first of all, they released some orders, we developed, then they released more orders. The process is moving on. Process is on.
Okay,
we have started supplying.
Okay, so any number which you can provide for Q3 or second?
I think the heat shield business at present, in the first, I think we put in the presentation also, I think 11-12 crore was the business. Just a minute here, let me...
About 22 crores, 23 crores.
Yeah, we did a business of 22 crores in the first quarter, in the first half year, and the second half year, it should be around 30 crore plus. Plus, Kia, we have not yet started because they are trying to diminish their inventory from the Korean customer, etc. When I think we are expected to start that also within next 3-4 months. If that happens, then again 10 crore and 12 crore order is from there also. Part is developed, part is approved.
Okay, and I missed about the commentary part regarding Maruti and Hyundai. What all parts we are supplying?
Maruti supplies them chassis components from Maruti Talbros, all rubber components like hoses and anti-vibration products from Talbros Marugo, and heat shields of about 15 crores from the gasket division.
Yeah.
Okay. And regarding the global slowdown, are we expecting any uptick in maybe from next financial year?
Only we have faced this slowdown from BMW. Primarily, I think they have reduced their schedule by 18-20% for this calendar year. But we are hopeful that by the next, I think the schedule will come by the end of month, in December for the next anticipated supply will come. I think it should be back to normal by that time.
Okay. Thank you.
But the rest we are not getting any effect from any of the customers.
Oh, that's great, sir. All the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Dipen Shah, who is an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Hi Anuj, hi Mr. Juneja. Congratulations on a very good set of numbers in this kind of circumstances. A couple of questions have been answered. I had one question on the margins. We have done a fantastic job in terms of margins being at around 16.7, 16.9%. How would you rate the sustainability of these margins over the next couple of quarters probably and over the next year? So that's
I think for the next, we should look at a number around 16% to ho jayega. That is not an issue. And margin sometimes it's an impact of some earlier price increases, sometimes it's the impact of freight, etc. It's a mixed impact. Sometimes it go by 0.5%, 0.2% here and there. But it should be around 16% plus. It should be around that in the long run.
Great. That's great. And as far as our target of 2,200 crores is concerned, there obviously was Nippon Necklace, which probably was included. So if we exclude that, should the target come off a bit?
So, of course, we are still hopeful of that target. But with the delay of launches by vehicles, we will tell you the exact, if the launches happen next year, we will back on track. That is not an issue. We are ready, we will back on track. Something has been delayed by 3 months, 6 months, but broadly we should be around that.
Okay, that's great news. And lastly, sir, there were some issues with Jaguar supplies in the UK, some news reports. Are we by any chance impacted by that, or are we connected to that, or it's not going to impact us?
No, we have been not impacted by that, but the new launches of the EV vehicle, which they have delayed by till I think July, August of next year, which was supposed to launch in January, it has impacted us that way. My supply will start late little bit.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the very best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we take the next question, we would like to remind participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Yash Kukreja from Equitree Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, good evening, Anuj sir and Naveen sir. Congratulations on good set of numbers. Sir, my first question was, what is the update on the Pune facility? Like, has it started?
Yeah, Pune facility has started, but I think we are adding the phase 1 of machines is added. Now we are adding the phase 2 of the machines. I think phase 2 will be completed by the March of this year. And as soon as the order will start increase, we add more machines in that. Already billing started. At present, we are doing around, till last month we did about 2.5 crores. By the end of this year, it should be around 3 crores. By the end of March, it should be around 3.5 crores to 4 crores per month from that plant.
Okay. Got it, sir. And sir, my second question was, how does the order pipeline looks like as of, do we have received any orders, like apart from 2,000 crore order that we have in the last 6 months?
Yeah, we are working on that. Hopefully, within the next 15-20 days, we will announce the new order book we have got. We are waiting for one more order. If it comes, then it will be a decent amount to announce.
Got it, sir. And sir, my final question is, are we planning to launch any new products, or are we planning to enter into a new country or some JV, something like that, in the near future?
Yeah. In JV, we are not in JV. And on a standalone basis, we are planning to enter in US. Okay, in forging is not supplying to US. Now they are planning to enter US. I think they will finalize the US order by December, etc. I think we will enter US from there. And other countries, I don't think we have no. We will not. At present, we have no vision about new countries. We are there in UK. We are there in all Europe. We are there. And we are supplying to US, some gasket division supply, and heat is going there, but forging will also enter that area. And at present, Anuj, any idea? I don't think so.
We supply to Japan also.
Japan.
We supply some hoses and rubber components, but we look
to increase our... That is a buyback.
Looking to increase our portfolio in the US a little bit more.
Yeah.
Got it, sir. Okay. That's it from my side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Jayesh Gandhi from R&N Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity. I have one question. Given the weak EV outlook in the industry, and as we focus are increasing our focus more towards EV side, what should we expect going forward?
So, initially, 6 months back or 1 year back, we were talking about 13% my EV share of business. But over a period of last couple of months, we are not seeing that traction happening because our major in the domestic segment, we are banking on Tata Motor in a big way because he is the only major player in the EV. And they are also not been performing. They are supposed to perform. They are stagnant, I think, little bit. And we were banking heavily on the UK-based customer. We have received the orders from there also. But their launch is getting delayed. Firstly it delayed till January. Now it has delayed till June. Let's see. When it matures, we can start supplying in a big way. BMW, we are also supplying in Europe. But they have reduced their schedule for the time being for the next 3-4 months. And after that, we come back and the schedule will go up. But I think I can see little muted growth from the EV segment. I think we are getting a feeling. I don't know.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you so much. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we take the next question, we would like to remind participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Kunal Shah from Innova Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted to know, historically, we are not able to fulfill our promises in terms of revenue growth. So going forward, let's say this financial year, next financial year, what will give us the confidence to give that revenue and profit growth?
Where did you find the revenue growth not being done?
Sir?
We are not fulfilling. We have, I think, exceeded the market expectation for the last three years.
Sorry?
I think so.
The last, not historically recently, but in FY21-22.
Have we done well? 22-23 we done well. 23-24 we did well. I think.
If you look at the last 8 quarters, I don't remember history 21-22, but last 8-9 quarters, whatever we said to you in the market revenue and margins have already been exceeded. Anyways, what's your next question? We can.
No worse steps. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Rohan Mehta from Nexus. Please go ahead. Mr. Rohan, your line has been unmuted. Please proceed with your question. Since there is no response, we will move on to the next participant. The next question is from the line of Shruti Sharma from SK Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So my question was regarding export growth targets. So just wanted to understand the key regions or products that we plan to expand to within the next 3 years to achieve the 35% export contribution target that you had mentioned.
Yeah. Now coming to the division-wise, forging division, I think I just told you the BMW will come down, it will go further up. We are getting new order from the US-based customer that will be added. And for the agri and off-roader, my customer in UK, I think hopefully we'll get the third phase order from them, which is substantial number. And the joint venture of Marelli, as you are aware, we have got 1,000 crore order from them. The supply, there are some design changes and the new samples are in progress. And from next year, the supply will start and it is about 150 to 180 crores export order from my Marelli joint venture. Plus we just talked about UK-based customer for the EV vehicle. It's all export. The launch has been delayed by, I think, till the middle of next year. And whenever it comes, the growth, it will be added to my export. And we are hopeful within the next 2-3 years, we will achieve that 35%. We have no concern in that.
Got it. Secondly, the gaskets division focus on heat shields is yielding strong results. Can you provide some insight into the next generation heat shield products, any under development and expected timelines for launch?
Yeah, we are next generation heat shield is Nimbus heat shield, which we are offered to Tata Motors. We are under product development has started for that. And that Nimbus heat shield is also being offered to now Mahindra also. There we are working with them. And Kia already we just mentioned earlier in the call that Kia we have been passed all the tests, etc. Their team will come for audit. I think within the next 1 or 2 months they are waiting to finish their supply from their existing supplier from Korea, and it will start by the last quarter or early next year. It will supply. And after that, we are adding more. These are all latest generation, latest technology heat shield I'm talking about.
Understood.
Other type conventional heat shield we are supplying to Volvo, Mahindra is adding day by day. We are adding more parts with them.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and congrats on the great set of numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Uttam Purohit from Monarch Net Worth Capital Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Anurji and Navinji. Congrats on the great set of numbers. My question was on the gasket and heat shield side. So from last 3-4 quarters, we can see quite a good improvement in the margin of this division. So if you could share what's been driving it and are these levels sustainable going forward?
First of all, we are working very, on the VAB activities, we are working here quite decently. And alternative materials with the same quality, etc. And we are improving our margin in the RM side on one side. Plus the metal also supported us a little bit. The metal prices have been cooled down here. Of course, we have not passed the whole benefit and we have kept some benefit with us. That is also working in our favor. Plus the product mix in the first 6 months is good. Product mix in the sense of export versus domestic. And in the domestic, the higher margin parts are there. So all these things have helped us improve the margin. And we are hopeful that we keep the same pace going forward also. Maybe in 1 quarter, 0.5% here and there. But going forward, we are trying to follow the same.
And on the forging side, we have seen some slight, a very slight impact on the margin. Is it because of freight cost? Because a much large part
of there are 2-3 reasons. My business with BMW, which has export business has come down a little bit. My export percentage little down. It has very good margin. Plus the freight. Freight also has gone increase. Some freight we have still to recover from our customer, which will come in the subsequent quarters. Little bit more. Plus, lot of development happened in this quarter. Please. Regarding the UK-based customer, lot of phase 3 development happened in that. In the development process, lot of processing charges, consumer is being consumed and to make prototype, etc., which is for revenue of which will be came in the next subsequent quarters. That is only that.
Last question.
When you develop part numbers, there are 50 part numbers to be developed, there are 100 part numbers to be developed. So you need, lot of rejection happens in that time while making the prototype, etc., etc. Initial rejection till the product is commercialized. That phase happened in this quarter.
Okay, that's totally understandable. And last question on the Mahindra and Mahindra side. So, other than these heat shields, are we looking to further expand our wallet share with M&M?
Yeah, Mahindra we are supplying from the tractor we are supplying in a big way to them. Heat shield.
Supply to Mahindra and heat shield supply to Mahindra. Now we're looking at hoses and rubber as a next product category to them. It'll take some time because I know that's one OEM which has actually done better than all the other OEMs.
Yes.
Okay. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Kuber Chauhan from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Regarding Pune plant, which you said, how much revenue are we expecting by the end of the year? Because in last call you said we are expecting 5 crores.
So we have, this is the, first of all, I'm telling you, this is the second plant we have in Pune. The old plant is in Pimpri, which is already generating a revenue of 11-12 crore per month. And this plant, I think till last month, it was generating a revenue of 2.5 because it was set up only in the month of May, June. And till by the end of December, it will be around 3 crores. By the end of March, it should be around 4 crores. And next year, I am targeting a business of 60 to 70 crores from this plant, number 2 plant.
Okay. And sir, we did around 12% of top line growth if we compare it on a YOY basis for first half of FY25. So are we expecting it to be on the same level in going ahead in second half also?
So we are targeting, our initial target before the start of the year, it was between 15 to 18%, to very fair to you. But we are never expecting this to happen. And I'm still hopeful it should be around 15%, maybe 1 or 2% here and there. It should be around that level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
I would like to thank you all for joining the call. I hope we were able to answer your questions. For any further queries, please get in touch with Devendra Dhruva of SGA, and he'll be happy to address all the questions. Thank you so much.